Hello, Sarah Pacaro here today to talk to you guys about covert narcissism. So there are different types of narcissists. I have specific experience with two types. The first is covert and the next is the overt or the malignant. Like the one that it's obvious that they're a narcissist. They're very flamboyant, very out there. All the signs and traits are there. But the sneakier narcissist is the covert one. So today we're going to talk about 5 signs of covert narcissists. These are the ones that people say, I don't really know. I'm not sure. How do I know? So these 5 signs will be there. The first one is what I made reference to in a post yesterday called false humility. So false humility is actually this form of pride that will be shown in self-deprecating ways. So they play the victim, they put themselves down, and this is also shown in the malignant or overt type of narcissist, where they will put themselves down. For example, the ex-narcissist in my life used to say, I know, I'm stupid, you deserve better, I don't know why I do this, I'm dumb, I'm worthless, I should have been a BJ, like all these things. He would put himself down so that I would say, what do you mean? No, you're so good, like that's not you, stop talking about yourself like that, like I don't see you that way. So they look for these compliments by putting themselves down because they target people who are empathetic and compassionate, and so naturally we're going to say, no, that's not you, what do you mean? So they bait you into complimenting them, and they say and do things because they want to. So it's really this form of approval seeking because they're concerned about themselves. They're not truly humble. So that's what's called false humility. And if you've been with a narcissist who's constantly putting themselves down so that you'll compliment them, that's what that is. Their goal is to let you know how important they are, really like, see, I am so great, and seek this higher position status. And you're putting them in that because they're putting themselves down, and you're like, no. So they disguise this in this form of humility. Well, no, I'm going to humiliate myself. So it's anything but humble, which is kind of what they want it to seem like. Their goal is to make sure that you're stroking them for their efforts. No, babe, remember when you did this? Like that, see, you're not worthless, you're not dumb. All part of the game. The second one, obviously, I say obviously because it's the lack of empathy. There is no emotional empathy. So any concerns that you have in wanting to better the relationship or to, come to a compromise, they will ignore completely. They will always choose to follow their agenda, and you may notice that anything you say about wanting to make an improvement completely falls on deaf ears. That's where the stonewalling or the silent treatment comes in, or I'm not talking to you about this right now, or I don't want to argue with you. That's the phrase that I used to hear most common. I don't want to argue with you, Sarah. Like, I'm not trying to argue with you, I'm trying to talk to you about this. Well, now's not a good time. Okay, well, what's a good time? I don't know. I don't have time right now, though. They don't want to learn compassion. They want you isolated, they want you withdrawn, and the stonewalling and the shame shifting and blaming, it creates that because it shuts you down. So their lack of empathy actually gets them exactly what they want, keeps you right where they want you. So they'll ignore you when you're feeling hurt. But when they're not feeling well, oh my god, you better not ignore me, and then a fight will happen. So there's no meeting halfway with them because of this lack of empathy. They simply want to be served, but they're not going to serve you. It's not a two-way street, it's simply a one-way street. And that leads into this third one, the immature responses. Narcissists are highly, highly immature emotionally. So they're highly sensitive. They take simple criticisms and blow them up. And that's this feeling that you get when you're walking on eggshells all the time, because it's like, gosh, I can't even say anything, because they'll take it as a form of criticism. So they take offense to these simple criticisms. Oh, but if they give it to you, oh, I was joking, you're so sensitive. Why you're such a baby. They'll dish it out. They have this. They magnify what's this perceived offense. It's like, whoa, where did that come from? All of a sudden, the simple little thing just blows up and gets magnified. They're not able to dialogue, but they're able to deflect and blame others for their reactions. Oh, it's your fault that this happened. If only you didn't do this, or only if you did do this. And so their attempt to cover their anger. They pretend like things don't bother them. But as you know, most of connection and talking is about nonverbal body language. So you'll see this a lot of like, so they'll turn away from you, or they'll walk into another room, and it's like, hello, I'm talking to you, and they're like, yeah, I'm listening. And so the nonverbal body language, you'll start to notice like they're not really listening to you, and you know that. So their body language shows anger even when they're not saying it. So anything is to get you into this gaslighting. They become very, very passive aggressive in their responses, and then they don't follow through with actions. So they say, yeah, I know, I said I'm sorry, or even if they don't apologize, but they make you feel like next time it'll be different, and they're not going to do this next time. And then next time happens, there's no follow through with their actions, even though they said they're going to do it differently next time. The fourth thing you'll notice is that they simplify others' needs. So they minimize the needs of others around them. Well, that's you need to do this for me, but I don't need to do that for you. It's not a big deal. Like, why are you so like you're going crazy right now? Do you see you? So when you have that same need, it's minimized, but for them, it's like this must do. They will not explore details of a particular situation. If you've ever tried to engage with a conversation with a narcissist, something that's really important to you, it's not even worthy. They don't have the time. Don't bother me. It's not worthy of their time. So they will use labeling to deflect. Like, I used to get told my friends were dumbasses and they were stupid and they don't know what the F they're talking about, and what do they know, because his friends were so much better. Like, they were so much greater. So name drops, the labels, like all of it to deflect and blame instead of taking responsibility. Well, I don't care that your friend is up here and you think mine's down here. Like, A, that's not the case. And B, they start to reduce these complex issues by avoiding your needs and having to talk about them. So they simply brush you aside. They make you feel like you're stupid, like you're useless. They don't want to be bothered. But you can have facts, and I see this a lot with people experiencing narcissists. They will say, I want to prove to them like how wrong they are. Guess what? They do not give a crap if you have all the facts in the world. Doesn't matter. Not their problem. They don't have time. Can't be bothered with it. So any amount of facts or logic, they have such a limited scope on what reality is. They're not going to invest the time or energy into anything contrary to their personal agenda. So again, it goes back to that immature response where it falls on deaf ears. And obviously it falls into number 5. They're unable to listen. Normal people have a conversation, it goes back and forth, and you feel really good about it after. Even if there's conflict, no relationship's perfect, you can talk about it, you can work it through. But narcissists will shoot from the hip. It's like that loaded gun analogy, like they're ready. And I do that. My ex-narcissist had a lot of experience with guns, and so he would actually do that in my face, and it drove me crazy. But they shoot from the hip, so they're very reactionary. Like, they're ready to go. They're ready to fire back at you. They don't take the time to stop and think, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. So they're unable to listen. They've got this gun loaded, ready, with their response, whatever you bring at them. So they don't ask advice. They don't ask questions during conversations. It's all about them. And they will shut down any dialogue that you attempt to engage with. And they'll give you very minimal amounts. Sometimes you're like, how do we get talking about this? This didn't even go anywhere. So they're not going to expand. They're not going to put any energy towards relationships. They don't care. They do not care what you have to say at all, because they're not going to follow through with it anyway. And regardless of what you're sharing, in the end, they don't care about you, and they certainly don't care about listening to you. So you will see a lot of these 5 different traits with all different types of narcissists, specifically with covert narcissists, though. So keep these in mind. Know that you're not crazy. There is help. They're very, very benign. They cause you a lot of stress. So if you're in the relationship with one, please, 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 I encourage you to just research about it. Like, journal what you're actually experiencing, because when you get out of that relationship, your mind likes what's familiar and will avoid what's unfamiliar, and it's designed to go towards pleasure and away from pain. So you'll start to remember all the really good things, and you'll start to miss them, and you'll start to wonder if you did the right thing, or if you made a mistake, or if you should take them back when they start to hoover you again. So number one, document. Number two, like, continue to dive into your own research about what NPD and narcissistic personalities are like, and if you're out and you're really looking for like that inner healing so that you don't repeat the cycle. That's what I did. I found myself in just another narcissistic relationship until I really got to the root cause of what was going on in my subconscious mind that was keeping me seeking and attracting these types of people and avoiding any kind of like real love or intimacy, first of all with myself, let alone with another person, and really healing that inner child that's damaged, not only from having been with them, but from all the experiences that you had in your childhood and the past that keeps you in the cycle and really feeling good. You're going crazy in your head. You're certainly going crazy in your head if you've been with them, because that's what they do, but without them in your life, you still feel like that, and you're really looking for a space and a way to heal, then please reach out to me. That's what rapid transformational therapy focuses on, and then really healing that inner child to move forward. So I hope that if you've been with a covert narcissist, these 5 tips help you understand more and propel you on your journey to healing and really freeing yourself from it, because thank you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. You can click on the banner to schedule a strategy call.